Hello there. So before we start any actual sewing, we have to take just a little bit of time to make some considerations. So about the fur, I used mainly two kinds of lengths. This is 1/2 inch and this is 1 inch length. This is the main type that I use. In whole fabrics it is called like this, and in Big C it is called like this. I sometimes use teddy fur in this part of the paw to make it longer in this part, and it is very important that the fur has a neat backing like this one. For sewing I use Linacita macrame thread. This one is 0.3 millimeters and this one is 0.5 millimeters. The thing I do is I separate the strands in 2 in this case and in 3 in this other case. So I use these ones for general sewing and small details, and these single strands for heavy duty use. We are never going to be buying black thread because it bleeds like crazy. These are basically the options you have to cut your fur pieces. This one is laser cut, so you basically have to do nothing. Even the peaks and the valleys are pretty clear in it, so that's a plus. The other option is to use a custom pattern with these cardboard pieces, and the thing you do with these ones is you can press them and cut around them with scissors. You are aiming to leave a 2 millimeter seam allowance, so almost nothing. And if you are going to be doing this, it is very useful to previously mark the little points with a Sharpie like this one. So you first mark and then you cut around using scissors. So these markers work well. These are Posca, and these colors work well. These two colors bleed, so don't use them. And these markers 0.7 have a shitty tip and don't work very well on fabric. So for scissors, buy the most expensive scissor you can find. This is the one I use. This works very well. This is another one, and this one is absolutely terrible and unusable. This is the tip difference. We are going to look for the meanest and sharpest tip possible on the scissors. In this way, these ones are perfect and these are completely unusable. These are the cheap ones and these are the more expensive ones. If you are going to be using the free pattern or you have a custom PDF pattern that I drew for you, the best option is to place the piece, align it correctly with the fur direction, tape it, and then you are obviously going to mark the most prominent points and cut around it. 2 millimeter seam allowance. Also, fur direction is not really rocket science. In this case it goes over there, and you can pretty clearly see how to orient the pieces even in the first page of the free pattern. If you are thinking about tailored patterns, which is kind of the whole point, I wanted to show you, for example, this is the pattern that I made for my own hand, and this is the paw I'm making for it. And this is the pattern we are going to be working with in this sewing example that corresponds to these fabric pieces. So this person and I have a pretty similar hand size, but even then I just wanted to show you the little differences between one hand and the other. which can also be seen, for example, in the ring finger. This is my ring finger, and this is this person's ring finger. You see all the cuts and angles are the same, but the actual piece is completely different. This is the top piece of my hand, and this is the one we are going to be working with, and basically same thing. This one is not even marked because the points are very clear, not like in here. And yeah, same thing. Almost the same, but completely different. It is also worth it taking into account that one might want a different palm piece or something like that, and that it is going to be also super dependent on the pattern. Also, like I said here, you can use the generic pattern that happens to be my hand, or you can even try to modify the scale of the PDF or something. I think it's not the ideal option, but that might work for you. Pin fabric. This is Faux sweater. It is my favorite fabric. It is elastic and it is quite thin, and when I use this one I put 2 layers of backing to compensate for how thin it is. This is the other option. This is your 4-way stretch mink, and it is also obviously elastic, and I only use one piece of backing because it is thick enough. And then this last option is something quite new that I tried recently, that it is I think it is non-stretchy mink from Big C. As you can see, not stretchy at all. It apparently works, but I'm not sure how well it would work to make a palm piece as pointy as this one. If you are going to be working without ordering pre-cut pin pieces and all that, you might need to do quite a lot of tests according to your fabric type. These are 3 fabric types, just to know. I even have it numbered, and that is just to know what fits better. For example, this is too big, maybe this one is better, maybe this one is too small. Anyways, I'm going to get into more detail about how to do this whole thing in the follow-up video, the one that's not free, because I kind of need to enumerate the possibilities to you now. So these 3D printed pieces that I'm selling with the kit are so you can make this tool, and you use this tool to sew this piece. Thing is, if you are not going to be buying a kit, you are going to have to print this template and create these cardboard pieces. For clothes, you can either get hard pieces or fabric pieces. If you want the alternative option, you can use this template in order to trace 10mm eBay foam with no seam allowance, and these fabric pieces also go without seam allowance. Thank you for your attention. I think by the end of this video I started using a very boring, focused, concentrated voice, but I can't really do anything about that, and I hope I clarified your options and what materials can you get and how to go about this project, and I hope I see you in the following tutorial. Bye bye.